Hello, everyone, and welcome to this audio podcast. This audio podcast is part of a Storm Robotics article. This audio podcast is part of a Raptor Storm. This audio podcast is part of a Platinum Edition, and this audio podcast is part of a Storm Robotics production. In this in today's audio podcast, looking at looking at in around the epidemiology now. Looking at the epidemiology in around Crouzons, Crouzons, and again, the epidemiology highlighted here, or that we highlighted in this audio podcast overview, will perhaps differ as the works the epidemiology at the time of this was from in around 2006. So time has obviously has sort of passed on, and so there may be maybe differences in around the incidences and prevalences of Crouzons than that is sort of presented or informed in as part of this audio podcast. However, some retrospective some look at retrospective epidemiology. So Crouzon's disease occurs or has occurred in one of every 25,000 live births, and accounts for around 5%, or has accounted for around 5% of cases of craniosynostosis and Crouzons syndrome, where symptoms are linked with a condition referred to as acanthosis, and canthosis nigricans is found in an estimated 5 to 10%, around 5 to 10% of all Crouzon cases. Crouzons is or has been the most common craniosynostosis syndrome. More than half of the cases are new mutations. Intracranial anomalies include hydrocephalus, Chiari 1 malformation, Chiari 1 malformation, where there's displacement of the cerebellar tonsils and below the level of the foramen magnum, and the hindbrain, and where there's hindbrain herniation, wherein this had been evidenced in around 70% of cases of Crouzons, and where Crouzons with symptoms around specific symptoms around craniosynostosis. So that draws this audio podcast to a close. This audio podcast is part of a Storm Robotics article. This audio podcast is part of a Raptor Storm. This audio podcast is part of a Platinum Edition, and this audio podcast as part of a Storm Robotics production.